welcome into another edition of the Movie Geek Podcast. I'm your host, George T., and this week we are going to do the Oscar preview and Razzie preview. If you don't know what the Razzies are, or last year with my Oscar predictions for last year, which I really did well with, you can always go back to season one and look those up. The Razzies are the opposite, obviously, of the Oscars. So I've got my thoughts as to who wins and who loses those categories. And but first, we'll go with the Oscars. So I must say that this year, very hard to pick winners in certain categories, and it is. Looks that way from the award shows that have been already um, concluded already, and I'm going to go through that as well. But what I must say is that three of the movies that I really enjoyed for 2024 were not nominated heavily, and I guess for many reasons. Obviously, one was Deadpool and Wolverine. Uh, Highest box office R-rated movie in history. Great movie, funny movie, got the MCU back on track, and I do have a review of Captain America: Brave New World coming out very soon, so check that out as well. But that movie not being nominated for anything uh, is kind of a shame. I mean, I get it. Marvel movies, or at least comedies, are never really looked at the same way as other movies, as far as dramas, biopics, and whatnot. So, but it was an amazing movie. It was my number two. Alien Romulus got one nomination, and that was for uh, a visual effect award. Um, again, uh, really good movie. It's going to reset Aliens. I know they're working on a sequel right now to Alien Romulus. Um, and there's also Alien Earth coming this year to FX and streaming on Hulu. So I'm looking forward to that. To kind of revitalize the Alien franchise a lot. But very disappointed in that the committee did not nominate, and a lot of the award shows didn't even mention my number one movie for last year, Civil War. This movie was so good. So good. Not saying that the nominees for this year's Oscars were not good. I just had a hard time believing that Civil War could not get any nominations for anything. Like, there's nothing they're nominated for. So, Alex Garland did an amazing job with this movie. He's also got Warfare coming out this year, and I hope that that gets uh, some kind of award nominations for next year. The trailer looks really good, and I will show you that trailer in another show. But again, the Oscars, you know, left out really one of the good movies for the year. Actually, all the award shows did. So, as far as now, last year I was able to really get into the documentaries and the live action shorts and whatnot, but this year didn't really have the time or uh, just the acronym to do it. So this year's Oscar predictions are going to be a lot shorter, and I feel like they'll probably be as good a prediction as I can possibly give. And again, with a kind of a turbulent um, award season where you had certain movies winning certain things, there are a few front runners who have swept through the awards. Uh, categories in the other shows. So I'll go through that in just a second. So, as far as what I'm going to predict on this show is the best original screenplay, best adapted screenplay, best animated film, best supporting actress, actor, best actor and actress, and best picture and best director. Again, last year I was able to go through a lot of it, with the short films and the documentaries. I saw a lot of great documentaries. I just didn't get into the ones that were nominated. So forgive me on that one. So let us go with our first one, Best Adapted Screenplay. The nominees were Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emily Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. So there's been a lot of speculation on Amelia Perez because there was some characters or actors and actresses that kind of spoke out, and toxic, I guess, tweets or whatever. Also, there was the controversy over if they used AI for any part of their script. So, Amelia Perez was one of the top movies of the year as far as nominations are concerned. But I think when we get to the Best Picture, I think it has lost its steam with all of the controversy around it. So, so those are your nominations. And I believe that Conclave will probably win that award. Best Original Screenplay. You've got Anor, Brutalist, Real Pain, September 5th, and The Substance. So a very interesting, eclectic, all over the place. I'm surprised September 5th got nominated because it was released in January. It was just at the deadline for it. And obviously, it's about the Munich games and the incident that went on there. So, it was definitely, a good movie. But as far as, getting it done, who knows? I don't think so, though. I think Anor, although I really like The Brutalists, but I've got to think it's Anor. We'll see. I mean, I could be wrong. Best Animated Film. You have Flow, Inside Out 2, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Must Follow, Wild Robots, and Memory of a Snail. So I really liked Inside Out 2. I know Flow has gotten some major pub. It got a Golden Globe Award. It also got Critics' Choice. No, Critics' Choice was Wild Robot. So you've got those two. I did really like Inside Out 2. I think Wild Robot wins the Academy Award. That's just my opinion. So, Best Supporting Actress. It has been a runaway so far in all of them. The Golden Globes, Critics Awards, Screen Actors Guild Awards. So, my guess would be Zoe Zelander. I butcher names. For Amelia Perez. She has just absolutely killed it in the awards shows. She is the overwhelming favorite. I'm definitely going chalk here on this one. Not that Isabella Rossellini did an amazing job in Conclave. I just think it's her award to lose, basically. So there's that one. So Best Supporting actor. Um, Really tough category. You've got Karen Culkin, Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, uh, in those categories, and Jeremy Strong. I think that Karen Culkin wins this. He has swept all of the other ones, and real pain. I think he definitely deserves that. Although Guy Pearce was really good and a brutalist, gotta say. But we'll see about that. Best Actress: Cynthia Erivo, Sophia Garson, uh, Mickey Madison, Demi Moore, Fernanda Torres. Okay, so there's been some all over the place where Demi Moore's won for the Screen Actors Guild and Golden Globes, but Fernanda Torres won at the Critics' Choice. So there's some conjecture there, but I have to go with Demi Moore in The Substance. Um, that's my choice. So hopefully I'm right. Best Actor. A really stacked lineup, and really it could be just a two-man race, even though you got a lot of good performances here. You've got Adrian Brody from The Brutalist, uh, Timothy Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. He played Donald Trump, and he did a really good job. And then Coleman Domingo in Sing Sing. It's a great lineup. It is a really good lineup, but it seems to be a two-man race when it comes to the other awards shows. It was Adrian Brody and Timothy Chalamet. My choice is going to be Adrian Brody for Brutalist. I would not be surprised if Timothy Chalamet gets this award, though. Just saying. It's kind of like last year where Emma Stone uh, was like by heart and was a favorite, and I went with the underdog, Lily Gladstone, and Emma Stone won, and I was really happy about that. And that was the only one I got wrong because I went with the underdog. But I think Adrian Brody wins this. Best Director. So you have Sean Baker for Anora. You've got Brady Corbett for Brutalists. James Manigold for A Complete Unknown. Jacques Audrin for Emily Perez. And Cortia Forget for The Substance. So normally Best Director usually gets the Best Picture. So I'm going to go circle back to this one. For Best Picture, we'll go to that one. You have, in order, Anora, Brutalist, Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Okay, so Dune Part 2 was a good movie, but should not have been nominated Best Picture. I'm sorry, it was not better than Civil War. Sorry. I know I'm going to kick this can all the way down the street. I don't care. But the Academy, I think, got this one wrong. So, Wicked has a second part coming. So, if it doesn't win this year, it may, depending on what movies are getting nominated next year, Wicked Part 2 might get nominated. So, we'll kind of brush that one off. The Best Picture category so far has had multiple winners. Let's go to the Screen Actors Guild. Conclave won it. You've got Now, Golden Globes is a little bit different. Amelia Perez won the musical and comedy Best Picture. The drama was The Brutalist. Cinematography was Wicked. So you've got those, and then you've got the Critics' Choice Award was Anora. So my guess for Best Picture is, and I really liked The Brutalist. I think it was good, but I want to say the Oscar may go to Anora, and that would lead Sean Baker to be Best Director, because last year Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan won. They won a ton of awards. This year, it's all over the map. There's a lot of films nominated, and again, there's been just not one possible outcome. Where you had Oppenheimer last year, which was the big one, and it was just winning award after award after award. So you knew the Academy was going with it. So this year it's been a little bit different. But those are my predictions for this year's Oscars, which will be coming up in a few weeks, or actually this Sunday. Actually, I'm sorry. So you've got my predictions there.
This is where the fun begins.
Oh, and now we get to the annual Razzie Awards for the worst movies of the year, or worst actors. It's a lot of fun to do this. Last year it was all over the map for me for prediction wise. We'll see about this year. Um, I mean, there's some doozies in here. So let's go with. So these are the categories. All right. So you have worst screenplay. Okay. You have a Joker Part Two, Craven, um, Reagan, Megalopolis, and Madam Web. Okay. Two Sony Marvel movies, along with DC Throwaway, Reagan, and Megalopolis, which was a big production but didn't do well. Okay, you know me, I'm a Marvel fan, but I absolutely hate Sony Marvel movies. It's been documented well. Go back and watch season one. Listen to those. Uh, I just despise Sony. I think they should get rid of the Marvel universe. Just give their characters back to Marvel, just like Fox did. So my choice is going to be Madam Web. Definitely Madam Web. But I could be wrong. I mean, there's a lot of bad movies in there. Craven was just bad. Uh, Worse, a remake, ripoff, or sequel. You've got The Crow, Joker Part 2, Craven, uh, Rebel Moon 2, and Mufasa. Okay. So, okay. I've got to give it to Craven. Again, Sony Marvel movies suck. I could be wrong on this one, but I go with that one. I think you'll sense the theme here. Worst screen duo. These categories are funny. So any two in Borderlands. So any two people that were on screen in Borderlands. Any two unfunny comedians in Unfrosted. Okay, this one is a little hard for me because I actually liked Unfrosted. It was on Netflix, and so I'm not sure who they're really talking about. I mean, there are some funny guys. There are some, there are some non-funny. So I'm not sure what this one is. So we'll just kind of cancel that one out. The entire cast of Megalopolis. Okay. Um, I think that one's a little bit of a stretch, but who knows? Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga in Joker, and then Dennis Quaid and Penelope Ann Miller in Reagan. I'd go with Borderlands. Any two in Borderlands. That's my choice. Worst supporting actress. Okay, so Ariana DeBucco for Argyle and Craven. Leslie Ann Down for Reagan. Emma Roberts for Madam Web. Amy Schumer for Unfrosted. And Fila Twigs for Crow. Well, I think you know where I'm going with this. Emma Roberts for Madam Web. Although it is interesting that one person was nominated twice, but not as not as bad as what we're going to see next. Worst supporting actor. You have Jack Black and Kevin Hart nominated for Borderlands. Shia LaBeouf and Jon Voight for Megalopolis. However, Jon Voight is also nominated for Reagan, Strangers, and Shadowland. Okay, can we leave the old guy alone? If he wins, so be it. But I mean, 4 movies. Okay, maybe he's just old. I don't think that makes him bad. And then Tabor Robin for Madam Web. This one's a little tough for me because I want to go Madam Web, but I want to say, whew, you know what? I'm going to go with him, even though I'm really thinking Jack Black for Borderlands. I love Kevin Hart, and I do like Jack Black, but I just, I don't know. But I'm going to go with Madam Web on this one. Tabor Robin. Worst actress. Okay, here we go. Cate Blanchett for Borderlands. Lady Gaga for uh, Joker Part 2. Bryce Dallas Howard for Argyle. Uh, Jennifer Lopez for Atlas. And Dakota Johnson for Madam Web. Okay. All right. I want to tell you right now. Cate Blanchett, I felt sorry for. And I know she's trying to branch out, but oh, I'm going to give her a pass for Borderlands. Nobody puts Bryce Dallas Howard in a worst actress category. I'm telling you right now, nobody. So she better not win. So that leaves Dakota Johnson and Jennifer Lopez because I'm going to leave Lady Gaga out of it. She was put in a bad movie. She's not a bad actress. She was just put in a bad movie, kind of like Cate Blanchett. But Dakota Johnson from Madam Web. So really feeling Jennifer Lopez on this one because Atlas sucked so bad. And I know Madam Web was even worse, but I could stomach Dakota Johnson a little bit more than I could Jennifer Lopez. So in a stunning admission, I'm actually going to go with Jennifer Lopez because she was just terrible in Atlas. Okay. Worst actor. So this one is interesting. Jack Black is nominated again, this time for Dear Santa. He played Satan. Zach Levy for Harold and the Purple Crayon. Joaquin Phoenix in Joker Part 2. Dennis Quaid for Reagan. And Jerry Seinfeld for Unfrosted. Okay. Um, there's no question about this one from me. Um, Joaquin Phoenix is definitely, I think he's a decent Joker. I think DC has just wasted his talent. I gotta say, Jack Black in Dear Santa. That's what I'm going with. We'll see if I'm right. But I just don't see. See, Jerry Seinfeld was okay in Unfrosted. I just don't think he was that bad. There were other I mean, he's a lead actor. Yes, I get it. But there, yeah, I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be Jack Black. Although I kind of feeling Zach Levy. All right, so now we get to the good part. Worst director. So you can already guess that um, you've got Madam Web, directed by uh, B.J. Corrigan, Francis Ford Coppola for Megalopolis, Todd Phillips for Joker, um, El Rato for Borderlands, and Jerry Seinfeld for Unfrosted. Okay, so Madam Web of Borderlands. Because I really don't think Francis Ford Coppola, he is a good director. I think it was just a bad movie. He gets nominated. Okay, fine. Todd Phillips for Joker. Again, DC is just terrible. But I gotta go with Madam Web. Gotta go. So that director, you get worst director. So finally, we have worst picture. We have Borderlands, Joker Part 2, Madam Web, Megalopolis, and Reagan. Okay, so my choice would be Madam Web. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change this. Borderlands got an absolute 0 Rotten Tomatoes score. So, you know what? I'm going to go with Borderlands for both Worst Director and Worst Picture. As much as I want to pick Madam Web for both, and actually almost every category, because, again, Sony, you suck. Just saying. Just saying. But those are my predictions for this coming Oscar and Razzie season. The Razzies are the day before the Oscars, so a lot goes into making movies. I never make light of that, and I love watching movies. And yes, there are some bad ones, there are some good ones, but all in all, movies are amazing. Unless you're Sony making Marvel movies. All right, I'm going to get off that. But don't forget that I've got actually 2 reviews coming out, one for Heart Eyes and one for Captain America. And then we'll get on a regular schedule coming soon. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching this, and I know I've had some little difficulties with getting it out into the other parts. Spotify will pick up the audio part, but I hope that this YouTube side works out a little bit more, and thank you again for watching and listening on the apps, and I will see you guys all at the movies.
You like that, baby? Let him know where that came from, yeah!
See you next time. Bye.
Waiting for you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's all, folks.